A lot of times people feel that they have to work extremely hard in order to do the things that they enjoy. For example, someone feels like they can't enjoy themselves unless they do everything in their power to be able to experience what it's like to be at the beach, or if there's like a certain car that they want, you know what I mean? Like they feel like they have to work extremely hard in order to get that special car, or it's even a house maybe, or like I said earlier, like a vacation. A lot of people feel like they can't allow themselves to have fun already, or a lot of people feel like they're not going to be happy unless they reach the place that they want to reach. They're not going to be happy unless they have this specific car. It's their dream car or their dream house or like a dream vacation sort of thing. And I don't really think there's anything wrong to want and to desire those things that not everybody has, you know, and to put your focus on that and to feel like you have to work constantly to reach those things. A lot of people feel like they have to wait before they enjoy themselves. Like if, for example, they get invited somewhere, there's people that will not go to whatever they were invited to because they are so focused on getting something like a motorcycle, like what just passed, you know, like maybe their dream motorcycle. This is a motorcycle they've always wanted. They've had their vision set on that for about like 2-3 years, just for however long. It's just the motorcycle that they want specifically, and so they want to put all of their energy, attention, and focus. Every single action that they do has to be in accordance to what's going to lead them to getting that specific motorcycle. And a lot of times what happens is it will start to drain you because your focus is mainly on anything you can do to get this specific thing. Then you'll be happy because you finally got what you wanted. Like the end result is what you're mainly focused on, and having that specific materialistic item or whatever it is that you're going after, where you feel like, until I have this, I'm not going to be happy. Until I have this, I'm not going to enjoy myself. And one really important thing is like just doing something for the end result. I feel like it's not going to work that way. It's a matter of like enjoying the process as well, because what it is like a feeling. Like a lot of people think that it's the specific item, but I know that you've heard plenty of times with let's just say famous people with a lot of money, rich people, that they can have all this money but still there's something on the inside that's missing. Like they're still not happy, they're still not feeling a certain type of way, even though they have all the materialistics. And maybe like when they first got it, maybe they felt a certain type of way, but then like that instant gratification or like that excitement that comes when you have something new goes away, and then like whatever's left is left, and a lot of times it's nothing, which is why they feel empty. And this is not to put a negative light on anything materialistic or money, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that people have this image where they feel like they can't be happy or they won't be happy until they have specific things, and really it's just a feeling. If you had this item, what is it that you are going to be feeling when you have this item? Like, why do you care so much about this item? It's about what it's going to make you feel like, and that's why you want to have it. And it's just also a matter of like, when you are going after the things you want, enjoying that process, because there's a lot of people that will use a lot of their years strictly focused on this and not caring about all the things happening in between, and they're not living life and enjoying themselves. And that doesn't mean go splurge and spend money. I just mean, again, enjoying the process is a part of living life. You know, if you're just worried about the end result, a lot of times you're not worried about actually living life and enjoying those ups and downs. That journey that ends up leading you to that is a part of that, and feeling all of those emotions is a really important thing, you know, because whether you have that or not, it's really a matter of like how you felt, you know. And I'm not saying all this to say that it's an illusion that there won't be anything good that comes out of you finally reaching these goals, like with you know, getting like the perfect car or like the certain house or a certain vacation. There's obviously going to be benefits from that, but it's just a thing of where I feel like people spend so many years, like somebody could spend 10 years going after this one thing, and they finally get this one thing, but the entire process to get there, they only cared about the end result that entire time. That's the only thing they were thinking about. And so that's 10 years of somewhat living in the future, you know what I mean? And it's so important that you do not live in the past, you know, holding on to things that already happened and then trying to predict the future. I mean, worrying about the end result and being in the present moment. And this is not me saying that not to have goals or not to have things that you're striving for. It's just to try to get people to understand that, you know, enjoying the process is an important part of it. And like to not forget that, you know, you're here to experience all of those feelings, because that's really what it's about. A lot of these materialistic things, these different interactions, all of that, it's really about how you feel on the inside. That's really what it's about. And so like another example is like there might be someone who will work at like the mall for like 50 years, and the whole reason they hate working at the mall, but they know if they work the mall for 50 years, then they'll finally be able to afford their dream car and their dream house. And then they get those things, but it's like they've hated that entire 50 years that led up to them getting those things. And I'm not saying that it won't necessarily be worth that, but in my personal opinion, it wouldn't. Like, it's about how you feel, man. And not even just in that sense. There's another thing where people will not accept certain parts of themselves and feel like they have to be a certain type of way in order to get certain things. And many years will go by where you're not allowing yourself to engorge in your interests and to like actually listen to yourself and to understand and have that mindset where you're good enough now. There's a lot of people that feel like they have to wait before they can enjoy certain things, and there's people that will avoid doing certain things because they're afraid of like how they will be looked at, and they feel like once they reach a certain level, then they'll be able to start exploring those other parts of themselves to see to actually enjoy the things that they have interest in. There's some people that will feel that they will be able to fully be themselves and try the new things they want to try, and to actually listen to themselves about what you may be curious about or interested in once they reach a certain level. And that's kind of like holding yourself at a certain place. And somebody will do that, like people do that for like many years until maybe they do finally reach that place. Like 10 years will go by, and then once they have a certain type of lifestyle, now they feel like they can be able to try these different things. And it's like you can really do that anytime. Like it's up to you changing the way that you're looking at it and the way that you are, how you are perceiving and how you feel about that. Like however you are feeling about doing that right now, it's about you changing that for yourself so that you can enjoy that in the present moment versus holding it back until, I guess, 10 years into the future. There's a lot of people that feel like they won't be acceptable unless they reach a certain point to themselves. They will not consider themselves acceptable or worthy until they reach a certain type of level or a certain point in life. And the process, like a good thing to remember is that like you are already worth it. Like for example, I'll use my art as an example. Like I've been drawing since I was younger, and I remember when I started getting into like portraits like around like 14, I like literally thought that my portraits were so great. If I find them, I might insert some pictures, but I literally thought that I was so good, and I legitimately used to stay up till 4 a.m. like admiring and like drawing and working on my stuff. But like I literally already thought I was so good at the time, and the more years that like passed, I just kept elevating my skills, and I got better and better to now where like I'm so much better than what I was at 14. But throughout that time, I've always had that mindset that I was already so good, and like I already know that like if I'm good now, the levels that I'm gonna reach is going to be even better. And that is like such an important mindset to have with like a lot of different things, not even just like artistically, like whatever it is, like to understand and to believe that you are good enough now, not just, oh well, I'm trash now, but when I make it to this spot, then I'll be good. It's like having that mindset is a part of that process, because I feel that it instills something within you to want to keep going, because it's like, I'm good, and like just knowing I can get even better, proven, like seeing what you've done now is proof that you can do even better. But if you don't accept where like the point that you are now, where you're like looking down on it, you maybe won't be able to see that you are capable of reaching that. But acknowledging that you're already good now, acknowledging that you're good now is pivotal for you to reach those other levels. It's kind of like, if you're constantly talking down on yourself, you know, you're probably not going to be someone that's going to be motivated enough to think that you're going to be able to change for the better. And so regardless of like whatever it is that you're like going after, like moving up in life, it's like going all in on yourself, from my perspective, means having that mindset for yourself and believing in yourself and trusting yourself and building that relationship with yourself, and like just knowing and letting yourself know that you are good enough now, you know, and also telling yourself that that's a part of the process. And then like, if it's really hard to get into that mindset, that's where you need to analyze and figure out, well, why am I not believing that, for example, again, my drawings aren't good enough right now? And a lot of times the reason is because you're comparing yourself to someone else, or you're allowing like outside like opinions or other people's thoughts, or you're even allowing your own thoughts, like if you have negative thoughts. And this is the thing, no matter like what level you reach, a lot of times majority of people deal with like negative thoughts, but it's just a matter of you not having a reaction to them and not like assigning a feeling to those reactions. Like, I mean, not assigning a feeling to those thoughts, like not attaching your feelings to whatever it is that you're thinking, you know, just allowing that thought to be there, and then to allow that thought to pass. And like, the more that you get better at that, it's like the negative thoughts will not be in a down talking type of manner. And the more that you get into that, the more that you will see that. Just think about little kids and how important it is to reinstill those affirming beliefs about themselves, to help them understand that they are already worthy, and that they already are good enough, and that they are exactly where they're supposed to be. And just think about how confident that child's gonna be whenever they reach a certain point. It's a similar thing, except like if you didn't have that growing up, it's like now's your time to do that. And that's just something that you can do like throughout your life. And like, again, this is like my third time bringing it up, but it's just like, it's really, really, really important to talk to yourself like that, and to always like to think that, to not even think, to know that you're already good, you know, to know that you are already at a great position, you know, and that you don't have to put something outside of yourself that you haven't reached yet. And because you haven't reached this thing that's not there yet, is what you're telling yourself. And so you're not good enough. And it's like you're putting that outside of yourself, but to already have that inside of yourself, to already have that belief, is what's going to lead you into actually being that, you know, and just to be that, and to practice those things, and to live like that. People do think that it's a matter of just waiting for life to happen, or waiting for someone to save them, or waiting for the perfect opportunity. And it's like, I know that you've heard this before, when someone says the perfect opportunity is now. It's not just something that sounds good for like movies, or just something to say. It's legitimately the truth, and which is why you should go ahead and do that. Like, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, whatever way that you feel like you're gonna feel once you reach that, you can feel that now. And it's like it all contributes towards leading to that. Like, where I am as an artist, like artistically, is because I had that mindset throughout that process, and it's really important. But if you resonated with anything I spoke about in this video, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing, so that this video reaches someone who may also need to hear this message. Thank you. Bye.